What is happening in that? J Gamer Dude here, and I'm going to be talking something about something a little dark, and that is how Buzzfeed is actually using AI to write sort of clickbait titles. Well, clickbait articles pretty much, because the thing is that there's always been a joke that whenever you looked at BuzzFeed, you'd always think, man, like anyone could write this load of nonsense because nobody will ever agree with a BuzzFeed article, and if you do, then there usually is something wrong. And I guess like more often than not, it's just a lot of uneducated guessing being turned into an article on like the top 10 bottom 10 of something, or the top 5 bottom 5 of something, and turning that into like a list of 10 things. So like listicles, or just trying to get under people's skin, like how Kotaku articles kind of read. So for BuzzFeed to literally turn to AI, we keep making the joke. When I say we, I mean the general gaming public generally tend to make jokes around how BuzzFeed could pretty much just run off of a single AI, because to be honest, it makes about as much sense or as much nonsense as an AI kind of, regurgitating the same article over and over again with very little thought or research being put into it. Pretty much it doesn't feel like it was written by a person, because it all just seems way too similar to each other, and it just feels like junk food in article form. So now for this to be a thing whereby BuzzFeed is slowly putting in little bits and pieces of AI into their work, it completely discredits their work even more so than it already has, and is kind of sad to see things go the way they are. What was once a joke that we could just laugh at because we knew it wasn't true because of how lazy the writers at BuzzFeed were, because they just do not get paid enough to care, let alone actually be able to do something genuinely good with their lives. For that to now for this to come up on this Verge article that I'm reading, and there are other places that have reported on it, like The Guardian and stuff like that, but I thought, you know what, I'll use The Verge this time around for it ultimately to just be like, because this is their actual reality, to use AI within it. I feel like the joke has gone on so far to the point where it just seems kind of meaningless and is just not funny anymore. It still feels just as stupid to see articles being written by AI. Yeah, we could probably make the same argument for places like GameSpot and IGN, but let's be real, like BuzzFeed is so much more lazier than that. And sure, I could easily be replaced with AI. I feel like that because I'm talking about stuff that anyone could talk about. Anyone could talk about this stuff. Anyone could bring their own unique flair or flow to it, because I just genuinely don't think I'm that entertaining. But even with that, I'm still talking about it because I want to, because this is something that is not just something that I care about, because AI can be a great thing that can be used for good things. It's just that at the moment we're not quite there yet. AI is a solution looking for a problem at the moment. The amount of like sort of anime artwork that I see that is AI generated, at first it looked like, okay, this looks great, I kind of wish I could draw like this, and now I look at it and I look at it now and I think to myself, wow, this actually looks really, really plain now that I've seen a lot of different AI generated pieces of art. No matter how different you try to make it look, it still looks so very plain. So then this ultimately goes from not just AI being used to write articles, but to a wider discussion of like, what does AI mean for us now? Whether it be for articles, whether it be for images in specific or particularly different types of art, but you can still kind of tell from a distance, you can feel that it was actually made by AI. It's really small bits and pieces, but yeah, it generally does actually feel like there was no soul put into the creation of something that was spat out by AI. And at first I was like surely you can't really be able to tell for the most part. And the thing is that at the moment you kind of can, after you've seen enough AI generated pieces of content. But also, it's kind of interesting. It's exactly what Philip DeFranco said as part of his sort of news show that he does on YouTube. And also, say, Mudaha from Some Ordinary Gamers, which is another YouTuber that I watch. They're both completely right about the fact that this is the worst it's ever going to be, and it's only going to get better. And when it does, it doesn't get a little bit better, but with each version of, whether it be Midjourney or ChatGPT, it's not going to get a little bit better, it's going to get exponentially better with time, because we're pretty much looking at the adjustments being made and improvements on a bell curve, where we're at the bottom of the bell curve, and it's just going to go up from there, like on the midway point. So it'll be interesting to see just how that goes, and what does that look like. God knows what we can kind of predict, because like, we look at the stuff and we can't even begin to think about what may come of it until it actually happens, and by that time it might be too late. We're probably not looking at like a Skynet type of scenario or situation, but who knows? The future could be of all sorts of different things based on, you know, various technologies and what can and cannot be made use of. I don't know, man. We're just in a very weird spot with all of this. But I'd definitely like to know about what everyone thinks about AI in the comments below. This would be a fascinating subject to talk about, because AI is one of those things I've not talked about that much on my channel, but I would like to talk a little bit more about as time goes on. But with that said, let me know what you guys think about AI in the comments below, about the stuff that I've talked about, whether it be the articles being, you know, SEO bait articles pretty much by Buzzfeed, or whether it be, you know, art. Are you also getting tired of seeing like Rule 34, you know, art that was generated by AI as much as I am? Let me know in the comments below. Like the video if you liked the video, dislike it if you dislike it. Subscribe to the channel because I'd like my videos to go out to more people. And I guess with all of that said and done, hopefully I gave you some food for thought. Hopefully you guys will give me some in the comments below, and I'll see you guys next time.